It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to this special edition of Science Bowl. The two teams you're about to meet have been here once before and won. Today's winner moves on as the last of the 4 finalists in this year's middle school competition, joining Samuel Ogle and Greenbelt and Thomas Pullen. Let's meet today's teams. First, from Dwight Eisenhower, would you say hello to Lillian Peters, Jeremy Mensa, and Bethlehem Hale. And from Kenmoor Middle School, here they are, John Bridgers, Prosun Das, and Ife Okeke. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, our game board reflects question difficulty. With the easier questions, they're on the left, worth 5 and 10. The tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest question of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points, no penalties ever for incorrect answers. And at the end of the 2 rounds today, we will have the last of our 4 finalists in this year's middle school competition. To make sure everything works properly, Jeremy, would you try your buzzer for me? Thank you, young man. Good luck to you, to Lillian, and to Bethlehem. And Prosun, would you try your buzzer? Good. Green team looks like it's ready and raring to go. Good luck to you, to John, and to Iffy. Congratulations on making it this far in the competition. You should be very proud of yourselves. Keep up your good play. Let's have a good game. We go alphabetically D before K. So Dwight Eisenhower, Jeremy, let's start the bowl, please.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, Falcons coach Dan Reeves recently had quadruple bypass surgery. The bypasses were around blockages in the coronary what's on his heart, Jeremy?
Arteries.
Arteries, yeah. He had clogged arteries that they had to bypass with veins that were harvested elsewhere in the body. Go red.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, because data is more quickly transferred and there's less distortion, cell phones switched from analog to what? Kenmoor?
Digital.
Digital, that's it. Good. Good. Go green.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, if you are a carbonate geologist, you study these polyp-produced structures under the sea. Kenmoor?
Coral.
Coral or coral reefs. Yes, indeed. Go green.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Team cyanobacteria, which are blue-green algae, are 3 billion years old, and as such are the primordial photosynthesizers, meaning they are the first plants ever to... Prosun?
To photosynthesize, to make oxygen.
To make oxygen. That's what we wanted to hear. That's the right answer. Go green.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, this is a multiple choice question. Back in 1937, printing as we knew it changed forever because of xerography. We got the Xerox machine. I'll give you the points if you can tell me, does xerography mean printing that is dry, wet, accurate, or fast? Jeremy.
Dry.
Dry, absolutely. Xerox, dry because of the toner in the printer. Yes, sir. Good. Go.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Look at the monitor in the studio, please, for this question. NASA just released this photograph of what 6th planet from the sun?
Saturn. Saturn.
It is indeed Saturn. Yes, you can see the rings there. Go. Green.
Science Potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Whether a chicken is prepared in the conventional way, kosher, or organic, all chickens still have E. coli that is resistant to what? Jeremy.
Salmonella?
Not salmonella. All E. coli found in those chickens, no matter how they're prepared, are resistant to what?
Heat.
Antibiotics. Antibiotic-resistant E. coli. That's why you should always cook chicken to at least 165 degrees. Go green.
Body systems for 20.
Body system for 20 points. HDL and LDL are the good and bad varieties. Kenmoor.
Cholesterol.
Cholesterol, that's right. The C initial fat that we associate with heart disease. Yes, sir. Good. Go.
Superate for 10.
Superate for 10 points. Teams, these slowest moving of mammals that normally... Kenmoor?
Sloth.
Sloths that normally hang upside down were at one time the size of trees and walked upright. You didn't need all that information. Go green.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, in mythology, because Prometheus stole fire from the gods and gave it to us, he was forever condemned to be chained to a rock. Pro son?
Be eaten by vultures? Or vultures?
He had to be...
More information, please.
He was chained to rocks and tortured by vultures.
He was eaten by vultures and then regenerated every day.
Ooh, so close. So close. Dwight Eisenhower, thanks to what Kenmoor said, yes, indeed, Prometheus was chained to that rock. A vulture, an eagle came down every day and ate what body organ that regenerated by the next day, Jeremy?
His liver.
His liver. That's what we want to hear. Sorry, guys, you danced all around it. Go red.
Yeah, science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, you can get too many CAT scans because the energy used is what kind of rays that were discovered. Jeremy.
UV rays?
Not UV rays. What kind of rays are used in CAT scans? Rays that were discovered by William Röntgen.
X-rays?
X-rays, yes indeed. So X-rays can cause damage. Good, go. Green?
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. If you're a cook, you know that you can beat egg whites best in bowls that are made of what chemical element? Jeremy? What do you want to tell us?
It's a metal. I know it's a metal, but...
Kenmoor, the bowl that makes the best egg whites when you're beating them, made of what metal whose chemical symbol is Cu?
Copper?
It is copper, yes indeed. Good, go, green.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, what same word means the ribbing underneath the cap of a mushroom and the respiratory organs of a fish? Kenmoor.
Gills.
Gills, yes indeed. Good. Ooh, the buzzer has rung. First round is over. Our score at this point, Dwight Eisenhower 85, Kenmoor 155. We'll be back with round 2 in just a moment. Don't you go away.
It takes more than perfect balance.
More than a great pair of legs.
More than a good sword.
It takes more than just talent.
More than the will to win.
It takes you.
It takes your donations to support the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic teams. And now you can donate on Facebook.
He's done it! The U.S. has done it!
Support the U.S. Olympic team on Facebook and donate to make Olympic dreams come true.
Hello, I'm Tom Selleck. In every generation, men and women have come forward to fight for freedom and defend our liberty. Over 58,000 of them are named on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Join me in supporting a new campaign to build an education center near the wall to tell their stories and teach about the values of those who have served in the past and who serve today. Learn how you can help. Thank you.
Welcome back to Science Bowl. Nice to have you here today. 2 great middle school teams have won already once, and they're here today battling it out for the chance to go on to the big contest of the year, the finals for the middle schools. Let's find out about our teams. It goes first to Dwight Eisenhower. Tell us about Dwight Eisenhower, Jeremy. Those of us that know, it's up there in Laurel,
Yep.
northern part of Prince George's County. And your principal is?
Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes. Is he a new principal?
Yes.
Yes, because I did not recognize that name. And the sponsor, you have two sponsors.
Yep. Miss Moore and Miss Bashadi.
Wonderful. And they'll be out in just a few moments. And you have a couple very excited alternates out there. Who are they?
Emmanuel and Najee.
Wonderful. And they'll be out to join us on set in just a few moments. I heard when you were here last time what great teachers you have at Eisenhower. Other than great teachers, do you have any great after-school activities? What else makes Eisenhower a special place?
It's the athletics.
Athletics, yeah. Now, you were involved in football.
Yeah, but it's not for the school.
It's not for the school?
Yeah, yeah. There's no football in public school.
So what do you have? What do you have?
I think there's going to be a soccer team. I'm not sure about it, but it's just a rumor. There is a baseball team. It was a girls and boys basketball team. Boys just had a game, and girls, they both won yesterday.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And yeah.
And I know, Bethlehem, you told me you played volleyball. Is that for the school, or is that for someone else?
It's for someone else.
Someone else. Okay. Jeremy, tell us about your future plans. What do you want to do?
I'm really undecided. I mean, I've been reading some books lately about finance or whatever, so I'm just thinking about investing.
Yeah.
And then, but if the opportunity to become a professional athlete presents itself, I mean, I'll take it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lots of things are going to happen. You're going to meet people. You're going to have opportunities that you can't even imagine yet.
Yeah.
So just have yourself well ready to jump and take advantage of those opportunities. Good to have you back. Lillian, tell us about yourself. I know you told me you're interested in acting.
In psychology.
In psychology. Do you have a favorite actor or actress?
I like Keke Palmer.
Yeah. And would you like to be a comedic actress or a dramatic actress?
I would like to do both.
Yeah, absolutely. Then you're more attractive to directors because you're versatile. You can do lots of things. Why psychology?
Because I like to help people out with their problems, and whenever somebody has a problem, they usually come to me.
Yeah. So you're naturally the person people will seek out because you have a listening ear, and you're probably not judgmental either. That's very important. Nice to have you on the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bethlehem, tell us about yourself. Now, you play volleyball. Who do you play for?
Oh, I just play like for a team, and I just play by myself, you know.
Yeah, just the friends and neighbors and all. Sure, kind of pick-up games. Good exercise for you. Tell me what else you like to do in your spare time.
I like to read and write.
Cool. All right. And someday, what do you want to do?
I would like to be a microbiologist.
Yeah, we were talking about that. You really like the Discovery Channel.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a great book called The Microbe Hunters. That's a classic. If you haven't read it, I can recommend it to you. Get your juices flowing when you think about your career if you read that book. Nice to have you back. Kenmoor, nice to have you guys here. Pro Son, nice to have you back. Captain, we saw you when you were in Cora Rice Elementary, and now you're at Kenmoor. What grade are you in now?
I'm in 7th.
7th grade. And Kenmoor goes up to 8?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can have another year of eligibility. Tell us what you like about Science Bowl.
Well, I like science in general, but my favorite category in Science Bowl is Zoo Parade because I like life science.
Yeah, because I know you aspire to be a herpetologist, an expert in reptiles and amphibians, and this young man likes king cobras. Not that he has one or that his parents would let him have one. What is it about the king cobra that makes it so fascinating to you?
I like its size and how it rears up, and it has its hood, and that it can put its head above the ground. So it's really interesting.
Something you don't want to see too close up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, tell us about Kenmoor. You're right across the street from us here in Landover. And who's your principal?
Our principal is Miss Fudley.
Miss Fudley, and she was here when you were here before, and was great to have her on set. Who's the sponsor of your team?
Our two sponsors are Miss Diallo and Miss Piggin.
Wonderful, and we appreciate all the efforts they have put in to get this team ready. Kenmoor, the winningest school in Science Bowl history as far as the middle schools go, and good to have you back. You're welcome. Any alternates on your team before we leave?
We have Nandi and Miracle.
Wonderful. We'll meet them in just a few moments. Ife, tell us about yourself. I know you're good in science. How do you know so much science?
Well, I like to read stuff that has to do with science and like watch stuff. That's how I get my information.
Absolutely. You just got to be a sponge. There's so much information out there, and just be kind of alert to all that's happening. We promote scientific literacy here. And the more you read and the more you see about science, the better we are about what we do. What do you want to do someday professionally?
I want to be a pediatrician.
Yeah. Why so?
Because I like to help people, and that seems like a good career option for me because I also like learning about the human body.
Yeah. And if you love little children and want to help them out, that seems to be a really good choice. Nice to have you back. John, nice to have you back again. You were here for, was it Highland Park?
Last year.
Last year. So now you're in the 6th grade, and so your 2nd year on science. Well, what do you like about this game?
I just like turning one of my best subjects into something competitive.
Yeah, I think you expressed that very well, because the chance to demonstrate academic accomplishment in a competitive arena is rather rare, especially at your age. And what do you want to do someday, John?
Either be a physicist or a software engineer.
I can see you doing both. You're a disciplined young man, and I can see you being successful. Good to have you back. Let's get back to our game. Kenmoor 185, Eisenhower 90. Last correct answer came from the green team. So, Prosen, start us out.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points. Teams, because they have short tails and not long tails, and 2 sets of incisors instead of 1, rabbits belong to a group called the lagomorphs instead of what other group that you would think they would belong to? Rodents. Rodents. Rabbits look like rodents, but they're not. Try again, green.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, there is a new children's book about animals called 29 Days Without Meat. It's all about lions and tigers and sharks that are trying to become what? Kenmoor.
Herbivores?
Herbivores or vegetarians, yeah, like the sharks in Finding Nemo. They weren't too successful either. Go green.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, when Charles Darwin went to the Galapagos Islands, he took along Dr. Mary Treat, who gave him a better understanding of what kinds of plants that have a taste for blood. Jeremy. What do you want to tell us? Girls, you got to help them out a little bit here. Kenmoor, what kind of plants have a taste for blood?
Flytrap?
Venus flytrap and other kinds of carnivorous plants. Carnivorous plants was all we needed there. Go green.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, NASA photos recently revealed that the ice sheets are retreating on what misnamed Danish-owned island that is the biggest in the world. Eisenhower.
Greenland?
Greenland, yes, sir. Yeah, it really should be called Iceland, and Iceland should be called Greenland, but they mixed them up. Go, red.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. Big one in that category, teams. When a leaf stops producing chlorophyll in the fall, but before it drops off, it makes sure it harvests 2 chemicals and sends them down to the roots to bring them back next season. Those 2 chemicals have the chemical symbols M. Proson.
Nitrogen and carbon dioxide?
Not quite. The chemical symbols for the 2 chemicals that they are trying to save in the leaf are Mg and N. What are those chemicals?
Magnesium and nitrogen.
That's it. Magnesium is Mg and N is nitrogen. Good. Red.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, if someone is trying to lose weight or trying to gain weight, sometimes it's difficult because what M-initialed process that controls all of the physiology of your body can be too fast or too slow. Kenmoor.
Metabolism?
Metabolism, yes indeed, young man. Go.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade 25, big one in that category. Teams, look at the monitor in the studio, and I have never seen anything like this before. This is a bee that can produce what looks like cellophane. Where it lays its eggs, it will keep the eggs dry. Because it makes that cellophane, is this known as a polysyllabic bee, a polygamous bee, or a polyester bee? Dwight Eisenhower.
A polyester bee?
It is a polyester bee, yes sir. Good, go.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25 points. Big one in that category. Teams pumice and obsidian are natural forms of this amorphous solid, a substance that is liquid, but when it solidifies, Kenmoor.
Lava or magma?
Not lava or magma, no. This amorphous solid I'm describing, a natural form of it, is pumice and obsidian. Starts out as a liquid, but when it solidifies, the molecules don't line up right, which is why it easily shatters.
you say the question?
I think I gave you what I could give you. I can't give you any more. The answer is glass. It's natural glass. Shatters was what I hope would trigger it for you. Try again. Jeremy, pick one.
Yeah, green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, some deciduous trees keep a few leaves over the whole winter. The leaves don't taste good. They don't have much nutrient in them. We think it's to keep deer away from the tree so that they don't browse on what other parts. Dwight Eisenhower.
The bark.
The bark, yes, the bark or the twigs. They will browse on them or the buds, and the tree is trying to protect itself from that. Go red.
Potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, rhinos are being poached too often, so scientists are putting one of these in the horn to keep track of them, just like we put them in pets in case they get lost. Dwight Eisenhower.
A tracker or GPS or something.
A tracker or a GPS. Nope, not quite. Kenmoor, what are we placing in rhino horns to keep track of them in case they get poached? And also we put them in pets in case they get lost.
A radio transmitter?
A microchip. A microchip. Try again, red.
Dateline for 25.
Dateline for 25 points. Teams, in this era of cognitive computing, IBM has a computer that is named for a person. Proson.
Watson.
Watson, yes indeed. One of the two who discovered DNA and Alexander Graham Bell's assistant. And Mr. Watson, come here. Go green.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, arborists will sometimes call it a tie if these are about the same height and the same circumference, Kenmoor.
Trees.
Trees, yeah. Good, go.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, if I'm trying to pull an answer out of you, it's like pulling teeth. Not with you guys. But if you're joking with someone, the saying is, I'm pulling your what? Jeremy?
Chain.
Not your chain. Remember, body systems. I'm pulling your what, Proson?
Leg.
Your leg, yeah, good. Green.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. If you're lucky enough to get a soda machine for Christmas, it's going to include a canister of what gas? Jeremy?
Sodium.
Sodium. What gas is... You're getting a canister of what gas if you're getting a soda-making machine for Christmas? What'd you think?
Nitrogen.
Carbon dioxide. That gives you the bubbles. Try again, green.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, back in the early 19th century, everybody who did experiments was an amateur. Because what word, a variant of the title of our show, didn't exist? Kenmoor.
Science.
A variant of this show's title, Jeremy.
Scientist.
Scientist. Yes, go.
Dateline for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, students in high school recently built for the first time ever a satellite. It is now up there translating text messages into voice messages. It is in what I-initialed layer of the atmosphere. Jeremy. What I-initialed layer?
Intermediate layer.
Not intermediate layer. Kenmoor, can you tell us the I-initialed layer of the atmosphere where this satellite is orbiting? It's the ionosphere. Last question of the game, dateline for 5 points. The FDA has recently banned the trans version of these foods because they are causing heart disease, Proson.
Fat.
Fats, trans fats. And with that, we come to the end of this Science Bowl. It looks like Kenmoor is the last of our finalists. We'll be right back.
Hello? Hello? I've been on the street for a while. I saw your poster outside. I don't know what to do.
National Runaway Switchboard, how can I help? Call 1-800-RUNAWAY to make the connection.
And welcome back. What a great game we had here today, worthy of a team that is going on to the finals. We are proud of all of our players and proud, too, that they are great ambassadors for their school as well as being great science students. That final tally, Dwight Eisenhower 175, Kenmoor 265. Kenmoor, congratulations. Iffy and Prosun and John, congratulations. And Nandi and Miracle, I know how happy you are. Miss Diallo, we will see you in the finals. Eisenhower, what a great run you had. You gave us a great game. Lillian and Jeremy and Bethlehem and Emmanuel and Najee. Miss Moyne, Miss Paschiotti, thank you for all you did to get Eisenhower here this year, and you did a lot. Thank you guys for a great game, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on another edition of Science Bowl. Bye-bye.